Hello, I'm in Miss Amy Benzi's quantitative literacy class, and I will be doing a summary of my Excel Module 3, Unit 4 Statistics exam. I will first scroll through right fast and show my formulas, as Miss Benzi asked us to do. So let me scroll through here and show my formulas right quick. This is number 1. All my formulas here. And number 2. And number 3 has quite a bit of formulas that we had to use. Number 4. And number 5. And the last one, number 6. And I believe that is all of my formulas for this report. Yeah, it is. So I will scroll back up top and get started on my summary. Take those formulas off of there. Okay, number 1, we were asked to create a pie chart, and this is about Americans' attitude of climate changes between 2010 and 2015. We were to create one for spring of 2010 and fall of 2015. There's each of my pie charts. And then we were also asked to create bar charts for each sets of data too, which I did there. We were also asked to give an explanation as to why we thought the numbers had changed so much over the 5-year period. And I thought that one reason could be due to more people are more conscious about global warming. So therefore they would say yes, that the climate is getting warmer now compared to the past. And I just learned in earth science classes last week that global warming is such a significant issue that it is causing our sea levels to rise. And if this pattern continues, which it will, as the scientists predict, our sea levels will continue to rise and they will start to submerge our coastlines, and this will be devastating to our planet. I just wanted to add that in there. And number 2, we were given 4 sets of data. The first 2 were Helena's missed classes and Juanita's missed classes. And we were asked to find the range, median, mean, standard deviation, and coefficient variations of each. And we were asked to create a scatter plot with trend lines for each. And the other 2 sets of data were for heights of Army recruits in inches and heights of randomly selected people from the mall. And then we were asked to make box and whisker plots for each one of these, which I did. And then in number 3, this was IQ scores of 20 psychology students conducting an experiment. We found the range, the median, mean, standard deviation, and coefficient variation. And we made a box and whisker. And then from that, we were able to create a bell-shaped curve, doing standard deviations up to 4 standard deviations each way. And we also plugged in some outliers to see how it would change the shape of our graphs, and that was pretty interesting. Number 4, data sets for the largest dams in the U.S. and South America. We found the range, median, mean, standard deviation, and coefficient variations for each. And then we were asked to do a plot, a scatter plot, for each one of those. And then we were asked to find what reasons we would think the differences in those data were. I think the only thing I could come up with is maybe the size of the dams would make a huge difference, because if you notice the numbers, South America has less dams, but their numbers are a lot higher for capacity than America's. So maybe their dams are larger, or maybe they have different kinds of dams. We're not given that information, so we really don't know about that. But I think that would greatly affect the capacity of the dams. And in number 5, we were dealing with z-scores, percentile ranks, rank, and calculations for IQ scores. We were asked to find the percent of students scoring at least 70%, and that was 97.6%. And the number of students that scored at least 70% was 976. Number of scores in the 20th percentile were 21%. Number of scores in the 80th percentile were 20%. And number of scores between the 20th and the 80th percentile were 59%. And we done all of our calculations over here on the side for those. Percentiles, z-scores, scores, and normal distributions. And then in the last question, it was reaction time for adults with blood alcohol level of 0.8. Found the range, the median, the mean, standard deviation, and coefficient variation. We were asked to create a histogram of the original data, and then we were asked to create histograms given different scenarios. For this one, it gave you a hypothetical situation where you were someone who was really against drunk driving, and you wanted to make a histogram to represent that, to make it look like everyone's just getting really intoxicated, and you want to represent that data to show your histogram, show your data to a certain group of people, so it looks like more people are getting really intoxicated than they really are. And then the last one was if people wanted to say that they really weren't getting very intoxicated, they could also change the way the data is represented. I think that's really important to know, that this is the same data in each one of those, but yet they look completely different. And so we need to be really conscious of how we view data, because it could be represented in a way that makes you think that it's something that it's not. And that is the end of my Excel report. Thank you and have a good day.